In this session, first, Shakti Dubey, All India Rank 1, will be sharing her insights about mains exam with you, and then Dharmadhikari sir will speak with you about handling mains exam. Shakti has secured rank 1 in UPSC CSE 2024 exams. She is from Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh. She has also topped BSc in Biochemistry from University of Allahabad and MSc in Biochemistry from Banaras Hindu University. She secured 843 marks in her mains exam. I request Shakti to share her insights.
Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon. So, how many of you have written your prelims this year? How many of you are expecting to write the mains this year? Okay, so every year what happens is, if you guys have written your prelims and anyone who is scoring above 80 in GS paper 1 and 65 to 68 in GS paper 2, I would suggest you should start your preparation for your mains. Without any hindrance ki border pe hai, hoga, nahi hoga, because there are certain things in mains that goes beyond knowledge. In mains, also what plays a very important role is your time management skill. Because there are almost say 10 to 20 subjects you have to command in this given period of time, okay, in which some of them are main specific subject. Like if I talk about internal security, or if I talk about ethics per se, essay, optional, all of that is something you might have not done for your prelims, definitely. So here comes the role of time management, where you should be able to divide your attention to GS as well as optional. We do understand that people say ethics, essay and optional is what helps you, get a good rank, and that is a reality. But anyways, if you ignore your GS, there will be an issue to come at par with other aspirants as well. So something that has to be done is an equal weightage that is being given to your GS as well as the optional. For GS, there is a very set pattern, as we say. In any case, previous year questions and the current themes that have been there in the news is what we call as, that's why we say also that in comparison to your prelims, mains is a bit predictable. If I say predictable, how do I say that? Because if the budget was released in month of July last year, because the new government was formed, so there were chances that any initiative, any new scheme that was the highlight, that will be asked in the mains that year. Last year in the economic survey, there was a section on mental health of the youth, with a special impact of social media usage. And that's why an essay ka topic was being given last year, where they talked about FOMO and the children that they are suffering. So here you will find there are certain similarities between the current happenings that are there and the question asked in mains. Another example I would like to give, when Chandrayaan 3 was launched in GS paper 3, there was a question on Chandrayaan 3. CEC, that is the Chief Election Commission Act, when it was being passed, then what has happened? The question will be there on appointment of the Chief Election Commission. So through these statements, I'm just trying to tell you that mains may just strategically you can get through easily if you are thorough with your current affairs and you have properly distributed your attention to the GS as well as your optional. Is that clear? Okay, then comes, there is something called as variation across subjects. You'll find that in recent time, GS3 has not been performing really well. ठीक है, आपने ये देखा होगा. You'll also find that there is some kind of stagnation in marks in essay as well. तो ये जो trends होते हैं, because of that we tend to think कि कितनी भी मेहनत कर लो इसमें marks नहीं आएगा. But still, if you find every year some or the other student is getting 110 above, there are some 10% students who have scored 110 plus in GS paper 3. It means they might have provided the input that was required. So we do not draw parallels or trends based on our whims and fancies. Nobody can decode the mentality of the examiners who are setting the paper. Nobody can understand the marking pattern as well. There is no, if I'm saying what is happiness, it can vary for different people. You all can justify it through different arguments. So it's all about ensuring that whatever you write, there is a, clarity over it, and there is a strong either the government report or something that is there to substantiate your opinion, whatever you are stating. So in GS, paper 1, 2 and 3, I think holding on to your static, holding on to the basics that you have done for your prelims, that will always stay relevant. Apart from that, for main specific subject, be it society, be it social justice, governance, IR, or any other subjects from GS3, you will find that current affairs will always be playing the most prominent role. Okay. Now, in mains, it's not just about the knowledge. It is also about your speed. It is also about just not, physical. It is not just mentally tiring, but mains get physically tiring as well. Because in one weekend, you'll be writing almost 5 papers. Okay? Essay and then GS 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all 3 hours ka paper that will be going on. So students who are writing mains this year, a simple suggestion for you is to not run back of the propaganda of 10 questions per day or 2 questions per day, or I'll just write half-length test. The student who have to write mains this year are the ones who should only be practicing the full-length test. Now, why do I say that? Because, see, when you write a half-length test, you have written it for 1 hour 30 minutes. Beyond that is the problem which starts. Beyond that, this hand stops working. Beyond that, you'll find that since the timer, the clock is ticking, there will be mental pressure to ensure that you complete your paper on time. Your brain will start getting clogged. A similar kind of information and data, you'll be finding that you're writing same kind of things. So for that is what practice is required. If somebody gives me 1.5 year for mains exam and फिर बोले जाओ थोड़ा टहल के आओ और आके लिखो, I'll be better able to write. But that is not what happens in mains, right? So please be very, disciplined with respect to what kind of practices you opt for yourself. Because that is what will build your base for the examination day that you are going to give. Okay? So for that, you should be practicing the full-length test. Talking about sources, I don't think I'll be the first person to say those things. I think वही source है जो सब बता रहे हैं. मेरे पास कुछ भी नया नहीं है. ठीक है? First thing. Second thing, there is nothing called as a single book or a single source that will suffice for everything that you do. If I'm taking up there can be one book which is good for post-independence, but it might not have a good content for modern India in that. So you have to be very selective in picking up things. Don't think or I have also heard people saying कि आजकल NCERT से कुछ नहीं आ रहा. There is nothing from the Lakshmikant, it is not been asked. You have to understand it is not a board examination that questions will be picked up verbatim from there. It is an examination where you have to apply the knowledge that you have. You'll not find very factual questions. वरना क्या ही difference रह जाएगा between the state PSCs and UPSC, ठीक है? So you have to be very thorough with the knowledge, the conceptual clarity that you are gaining, because that is what you will apply and you will be able to generate answers. Direct statement on which is a cold current and warm ocean current may not be asked, but linking the presence of warm current and hot current with deserts at a given location on a continent is something you should be able to relate to conceptually. Is that clear? So please don't think कि कोई एक ऐसी coaching होगी जो सब पढ़ा देगी and you will be able to do it. Nothing of this sort happens. ठीक है? You will also understand if next year some of you clear the exam, you will have 100 of sources you would have referred to. Some you might have paid for, some you might have come across on Telegram, some you might have got it from some of your friends. तो ऐसा मत सोचो कि इस बार की टॉपर एक पर्टिकुलर इंस्टीट्यूट से है तो वही इंस्टीट्यूट में सब कुछ है, या नेक्स्ट ईयर की टॉपर कहीं और से है तो वी रन बैक ऑफ दैट. ठीक है? पहली चीज तो ये बंद करो. Being an aspirant who are appearing for UPSC, it is really, really important for us to be at least aware. We are not expecting students not writing exam to be commenting such things. But अगर UPSC aspirants आके पूछते हैं मैम कौन सा book पढ़ लें, उससे सब आ जाएगा या NCERT से कुछ नहीं आ रहा है, then that is the worst you are doing to yourself. ठीक है? कुछ बेसिक रिसोर्सेज हैं, स्टिक टू दैट. देर आर सर्टेन इंपॉर्टेंट प्रैक्टिसेस दैट यू हैव टू स्टिक टू. दैट इज सॉल्विंग द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस एंड देन स्टिकिंग टू writing full length mock test only. Because UPSC for mains has given a very detailed syllabus. If I say syllabus is there to tell you what you have to read, and talking about how much to read, that comes from the previous year question. Because in syllabus there is something called as judiciary. Is there something called as judiciary? Judiciary mein what do you think you need to study? Supreme Court, High Court, District Courts, etc. Now Supreme Court pe I can write a complete one book. While in Lakshmikant, it's just a chapter, right? Then how much do we study? What is the depth that is required? To understand that, you should be very thorough with the previous year questions. Because when you pick that up, you know which kind of dimensions from the judiciary is being asked in the examination. And in last 12 to 13 years, that is post 2013 when the syllabus was changed, UPSC has detailed the points, the themes on which they are trying to ask, or which is their favorite area, or which is important topic or themes from a particular given unit. ठीक है? So keep the syllabus and the previous year question as you proceed for mains as your guiding light. Apart from that, complementing everything with the current affairs. Now I'll tell you a very important role of government documents. Okay? You might have heard about economic survey and budget. Now in economic survey and budget, every sector, be it social sector, be it economic sector, everything is touched by the government. They will talk about agriculture, they'll talk about youth, they'll talk about women, they'll talk about disaster management, they will talk about defense. So if we talk start from GS paper 1 to GS paper 3, every single UPSC syllabus ka topic is being covered in the budget as well as your economic survey. So why don't you make it a single source to pick up the current affairs? Economic survey में government will tell उन्होंने क्या किया है पिछले साल, और budget में वो बताएंगे कि what they want to do in the upcoming year. So you have what is done, and you also have a way forward for everything. So please use the government documents to the best, how much ever you can extract from that, it should be. Pick up, if suppose now आप लोगों ने relate किया होगा economic survey और budget को with economics. We always study it as a part of economics. Am I right? But then in GS paper 1, do we have society? In society, do we have something called as caste census? Caste system. Caste census was there in the news. Can we relate it? Women organization, role of women and all is there in the question. Women का health, education, digital literacy, हर चीज का data budget में होगा, economic survey में होगा, schemes होंगी government की. Can't we pick up the data from there for GS paper 1? We can. Can we do it for governance? E-governance is a topic. Digital initiatives by government will be there in the budget. Can't we use it in e-governance? Yes, we can. You can use it very properly even in ethics. Okay? So be very open with economic survey and budget, and this is an authentic source which can be quoted literally everywhere. They might ask, what do you think? But your opinion doesn't matter there. What matters is what is the argument you are giving, and does that argument comes from a valid source or not? Is it having a backing of the government or a good, like a government committee? So you can be quoting things like second ARC, you can be quoting Sarkaria Commission. When you are talking about agriculture, you can quote the Ashok Dalwai Committee. So be very proactive in having these defined certain templates for you so that you can use them across the GS papers. Now I'll cover on a very important aspect, that is answer writing. Okay? Answer writing, what happens is, there are two things. First, completing the paper on time. Second thing is ensuring that you write a very enriched answer. I have heard from many people कि just complete the paper on time and you will get the marks. मतलब सारे paper में question attempt करके आओ and you are getting marks. I don't think that really happens. To be very honest, GS paper 3 was the one that really go bad for me this year, and I scored the least in GS paper 3 only. This simply shows that there is a correlation between the kind of content you are providing and the marks that you are getting in your examinations. So you have to be very sure, कुछ भी नहीं लिखना है. तो आंसर राइटिंग में 3 चीजें होती हैं. फर्स्ट, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द डिमांड ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. बाय डिमांड आई मीन देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन व्हाट हैज बीन आस्क्ड एंड व्हाट यू नो. So इसका मतलब पता है, व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, डिड यू गेट दैट? देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन व्हाट हैज बीन आस्क्ड एंड व्हाट यू नो. For example, if I ask one of you, what is the role of optional in UPSC? And आप मुझे ये बताने लगो, UPSC is one of the very toughest exam. We have GS paper 1 which is MCQ type, GS paper 2 is CSAT. But this is not what I was asking. Question was not about UPSC. Question was about the role of optional in the UPSC. So you have to be very specific in understanding the demand of the question. Once you have understood the demand, second thing that you need to do is to identify the subparts in the question. This will help you in properly structuring the answer, because we have been given 2 pages for 10 marker and there are 3 pages for 15 marker. So idea is to ensure that when you end the answer, every dimension that was asked has been touched upon. कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है कि we missed meeting the demand of the question. Okay, so you should be able to identify the demand. Once you have identified the demand, you will be able to generate subheadings. कि अगर पूछा है what are tropical cyclones, what are the condition for its formation, and what are the steps government of India has taken to tackle the disaster. अब ये 3 सब पार्ट्स थे इसमें. You have a 3 heading for it now, and you can properly answer it point wise. ठीक है. Then comes the role of introduction and conclusion in every answer. The intros have to be very, very relevant. Means you need to show to the examiner that you know why a particular question was asked. This shows that you were aware. This shows you know the significance of every question that has been asked in the paper. So there are also several types of introduction. It can be current based. You can use some scheme of government of India. You can open up with an international report. For example, if the question is on hunger, you can start with the global hunger index. If suppose question is on poverty, you can start from the multi-dimensional poverty index, which is also released by Niti Aayog, and there is also an international report for the same. So there will always be some authentic source to quote. Apart from that, in polity questions, you can always start with constitutional articles. You can quote the Supreme Court judgments and you can begin by that. At times, definitions in polity also play a very important role. For example, there is a question on constitutional morality. You might not find some relevant current affairs to start with, but a definition would be a better way to go about it. ठीक है? So there are several ways. By practice, you decide whenever there is a question on issues or challenges, I start with the current context. Whenever there is a question on some geographical phenomena, I start with, say, some current context. When there is a question of polity, I start with Supreme Court judgments. So there has to be a set template that you decide right now based on your practice before writing your actual mains. So when I'm sitting in the mains hall, at least I don't have to waste my time on thinking ki how will I open my answer, because that gives a an impression that are you really aware about the question or not. ठीक है. Then second thing is, अब जब सब कुछ हो गया, डिमांड भी समझ आ गई, सब पार्ट भी समझ आ गया, इंट्रो भी समझ आ गया, then comes the role of your speed. की पेपर कंप्लीट करना है टाइम पे. व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग मेंस, डू नॉट वेस्ट योर टाइम ऑन क्वेश्चंस जो आपको नहीं आते हैं. आई विल टेल यू, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल दिस ईयर देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन ऑन ज्योग्राफी ऑन ट्विस्टर्स जो नहीं आता था. मोस्ट ऑफ अस डिडंट न्यू वेयर इट वाज, वी डिडंट कम अक्रॉस इन द करंट अफेयर्स एज वेल, बट दैट वाज आस्क्ड इन द मेंस. सो व्हाट डू आई डू नाउ? डू आई स्टार्ट क्रिएटिंग फेक आंसर्स एंड आई राइट 3 pages फॉर दैट? आई विल एंड अप वेस्टिंग माई टाइम एंड आई विल बी अवॉर्डेड आई थिंक हार्डली 1 or half marks फॉर दैट. इससे बेहतर है जो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं जिसपे आपके पास अच्छा खासा कंटेंट है, please attempt them first and complete, do complete justice with that. ठीक है. So completing paper within 3 hours is also a challenge which has to be taken care of, and that's why I say when you are practicing, practice the full length test. Do not go for half length test. ठीक है. Apart from that, also whenever you are like writing answer in mains, make sure that don't get into those things कि 2 pen use करना है, 3 pen use करना है, and you have to make your copy look very colorful. What is asked should be there. उसके अलावा किसी को किसी चीज़ से कोई मतलब नहीं है. Wherever maps are required, make. Now suppose there is a question on Indo-Pacific. Just drawing a map की show कि ये है Indo-Pacific will not make a sense at all. Don't waste time on that. If there is a question on string of pearls, that time you draw a map, it makes sense because you will be showing the bases that are there in the Indian Ocean. So be very selective in doing things. Secondly, if suppose you have explained certain thing through with the help of a flow chart, that's done. Do not convert into literature again. It is done. Do not repeat the content and again in your paper. This will save your time and this will also make your answer look more presentable. ठीक है. So there are certain things that you need to keep in your mind. The important point should be highlighted. In GS what we do, we write the answers point wise. In optional we go paragraph wise, or most of like in a essay format we go when we write the answers. I did that for PSIR. I don't think if I'm aware about other optional, if you guys are writing it in a point format or you're writing it in a paragraph format. Whatever suits, whatever has been advised and is going on, please go ahead with it. Okay? Now I'd like to talk about one very important subject, that is ethics, in which I have one of the highest score, 141. But the idea behind this was to ensure that I do not follow the mechanical approach of answer writing. मार्केट में एथिक्स की बुकलेट आ जाती हैं. ठीक है. देर आर 2-3 नोन इंस्टीट्यूट्स जिनकी बुक्स होंगी, 2-3 नोन बुकलेट्स होंगी जिसको सब फॉलो कर रहे होते हैं. नाउ दे हैव सेम कंटेंट, ऑल ऑफ यू आर रीडिंग फ्रॉम दैट सेम बुकलेट. फॉर अ बेस इट इज गुड, बट प्लीज try improvising on that so that आप सबके आंसर एक जैसे ना लगे. When they look very mechanical, when they look very bookish, the chances of scoring good marks in ethics goes down very badly. ठीक है? So please try having some personalized examples. For that, you can refer to Shruti Sharma ma'am's test copy if you guys have gone through. They were really good. From there, I also got idea which kind of examples can be inculcated from the daily life or the real life experiences. Okay? Second thing, in ethics, you might have come across thing called as case studies that are there. Okay? There will be 6 case studies, and in every case study, one question will be common. That is, what were the ethical dilemmas you see that were faced in the given case study. So you guys have to make sure in all the 6 questions, you do not repeat the same ethical dilemma. So at least create a list of 30-40 ethical dilemmas with you, which you revise and go. And whichever suits in an answer, you just pick that up and put it there. So that every case study should look different and not that same value you are writing, same ethical dilemma you are mentioning again and again. Okay? Third thing is, make use of your optional in your GS paper 4. Like I was a PSIR student, we have a topic on thinkers. Every thinker has given some or the other theories, and I've used them like recklessly in my optional paper. Okay? So this is also something you can do to make your ethics look a bit more personalized, a bit more enriched. Okay? Students who are writing means I don't think they have much time, but you can refer to some other ऐसे कुछ अगर booklets हो कहीं जहाँ पे keywords का list दिया हो, or there is a list of some keywords with good examples etc. Please pick that up and it will make your task a lot more easier. ठीक है? Now comes the role of your optional here. Now, from now onwards till next 85 days, for students who are writing the mains this year, 50% of your day has to be devoted to optional alone. Last year, I scored 230 marks in my optional and I was out of the list. This year, my improvement was there by 50 marks. I have 280 this year. And see, I'm not saying I'm rank 1 because of that, but I definitely mean to say that whenever your optional performance is above 250 to 60, there is a guarantee that you stay in the list. Because GS paper में ज़्यादा variation देखने को नहीं मिलता until and unless there is a huge, variation in content that we all are writing. Okay? So please give enough time to your optional. Optional also has a very set pattern which can be decoded with help of the previous year question. Like for us, we know that if this year political economy approach has been asked in comparative politics, next year political sociology approach will be asked. So this is a kind of trend that has followed over the years. So इस तरीके से थोड़ा go through, though we read everything, but we keep focus on the trends also, which makes revision quite easy for us. Okay? So this will be there for your optional, and in this way you can, I think, tackle your mains. उसमें ज़्यादा तो problem नहीं होगी. And above all, what matters is the knowledge. Above all, what matters is your basic information that you have studied for your prelims. ये नहीं कि prelims हो गया तो I forget all of that. Please keep hold of that current affairs, keep hold of that basic sources so that you can quote it in your mains and your answers will look much more authentic and they'll be much more enriched. ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ भी vague लिखा है. So please keep revising and keep studying. I think that would suffice from my end. If there is something else or you guys want to ask any question. Okay? Alright, thank you so much.